boy, Ron Scott, coming out of Dover, New Jersey, 07801.
Alright, but so what do you do?
I am a fine artist specializing in abstract art. If you want to classify it a little bit more, it's expressionist or neo-expressionist, modern expressionist. For those who don't know what that means, that's just really much expressing everything around you, everything that's going on internally, and translating that onto a canvas.
Okay, and how many years have you been with?
I've been painting for about 3, 4 years now. I would say about coming up on 4. Yeah, 4.
Okay, so give us like a little backstory. What made you get into it in the first place?
That's a good question. First thing that came to my head, honesty, was I was actually houseless, and I've always been the creative type, and I was house sitting for one of my best friends, and I just started drawing. I read already. I was listening to music. Miles Davis, I remember the day, great jazz musician, and started drawing in the notes app in my phone, and they started to look really cool. So my friend had came back, and I had showed him what I made, and he was like, "You should sell these. Like, these look really good. Could help put money in your pocket and such and such." And that's what I did, and people responded to it in a positive way, and I just kept on going, just kept on with the flow. And then I started painting actual physical pieces. Maybe that following year, I saw people throwing out tables, desks, things that I could paint on. You just got to clean them, sand them down, and that's what I did. And one of my favorite pieces, Water Knows No Enemy, shout out Fela Kuti, I just painted it, and I put it online and just took off from there. Never looked back.
Do you remember that very first piece that you made?
For my career, yes. It's called Faces. Faces. It was the very first piece that I did, and I was staring at it because I'm like, yo, like, this looks really cool. Like, I can draw things. Like, if I look at something and I'm not distracted, I can draw really well. But when I looked at Faces, I wasn't looking at anything to draw. It was really just coming from my memory and past experiences. And it's mind-boggling to me that I was able to visualize something that I was drawing without intentionally doing it. And that's why, from like, usually now when I go to paint or draw something to turn into a painting, I just let my hand talk. I don't really intentionally put things on my canvas because it's coming out of me anyways. So I remember it's called Faces. You can check it out on my Instagram on RonScottStudios. It's there, and I'm pretty sure you'll know which one it is.
So do you remember that, that feeling that you had from creating that first piece?
Yeah, it was an awe feeling. It was like, I looked at it after I finished, after I took my finger off of my phone screen. I just stared at it, and it was kind of blissful, and it was awe because it's like, I didn't really think that I could draw something like that. Not that I didn't believe in myself, but it just looked so creative and so, like, meticulous and artsy. And I was really dumbfounded that, that came from me. And then from there, I just kept on making them, one after the other.
So as a fine artist, what do you go through from morning to night? Give us a rundown of your day, like, as soon as you wake up.
Alright, so I wake up, I usually look at my phone, but I don't click anything. It's just to see, like, okay, if my mom called me, or, my best friend called me, there was a text, something happened, and then I lock it off, and then I meditate for about 10 minutes. After my meditation, that's where I go and take care of, like, my hygiene. So that's, actually, no, that's not what I do. After the meditation, that's when I'll pick up my phone, I'll respond to people. I don't really go on social media still because I don't want that to, deter me from the trajectory that I'm trying to go on and that I will go on. And then I take care of all like my hygienical stuff, wash my face, brush my teeth. Then I start with some water and a cup of tea. Tea is very essential for me as an artist to keep me grounded, to keep me balanced, take care of my insides. Then I go outside and I stretch. I do a bunch of stretches for about like 5-10 minutes. Then I go back inside, and that's when I start marketing. So all the new pieces that I made, all the old pieces, I post them, I share them, I message people, follow-ups that they had inquired about a painting or a piece that I made. And then from there, if I have a painting that I didn't finish the night prior or the day prior, then I would jump on it. And then if not, I just typically handle the marketing side of it. That's a very big factor in, having an art career is, marketing and putting yourself out there in spaces that you aren't there.
So is there any influences or role models?
Yeah, I influence myself. That sounds wild. Maybe some may say narcissistic or egotistical, but what I really mean by that is that, there's a lot of layers to the individual. There's a lot of layers to myself. So, what I did prior, good or bad, I'm very introspective and I look at that and it inspires me, to create something from that, just like how I'm creating myself. I also have like other influences. The late great Jean-Michel Basquiat, my favorite artist of all time. Just the way he, articulated himself, the way he painted and did multiple things at one time. He was able to multitask. I feel like that, or I think that embodies like my personality, because I like to do multiple things in my day. I like to be productive. So how he did that while painting, it inspired me, and he was a very big influence on me and my work.
So if you had to pick one thing from Basquiat, what stood out to you the most, and what do you implicate in your life with your paintings now?
I don't remember the name of it. I think it might be called like something with the boy riding the horse or the dead riding the horse or something like that. And it's like a man on top of a horse in a desolate, environment. And in correlation, the way that he maneuvered through the city, he had a top coat. He, was picking up furniture, old fridge doors, car doors, and he was tagging them Samo, and that was inspiring to me because this is what he was doing. He was just flowing through life, flowing through his day to day, upset about who knows what, capitalism or something going on in his household, and he was just able to keep going and just navigate instead of having this certain structure that people get lost in, or people can't survive because of how it is. He created his own status quo, and I think that's very important for me. And a lot of people can't do that because it's like you're a dead man walking. If you're not following the masses, you're not following or conforming to somebody else's time, there's a lot that you can find. There's a lot of exploration, a lot of creativity, a lot of gold, and just a lot of love. So that's those two paintings. The painting and how he moved kind of encompasses my painting style. Meaning, if I don't know what to put on the canvas, I can come back. I might pick up a book, start reading. I might start rapping, freestyling, and writing lyrics. And a lyric might make me go back, or something somebody has said, and I think that comes from him and how he did or lived his life. 100%.
So out of your 4 years of being a fine artist, what would you say is your most proud moment so far?
I would say my most proud moment was That's really hard actually, but I'm gonna go with I was hospitalized. I was hospitalized, and somebody asked me to paint something for them. So I painted something for them, and he was just in awe. He was like, "Bro, this like reminds me of a Picasso." And he said that, and I was just like, "Nah, nah, like that's too much. Like Picasso is so renowned." Like he said that to me, and what made that my proud moment wasn't the fact that he compared me to Picasso, but what it was the fact that, you know, he felt heard. He felt like seen, and that's exactly what I do it for. I want someone who looks at my painting to have a relation to something that they have going on, or it helps them speak words that they don't know how to speak or translate. That's why I make art. It's an outlet for me, and I'm also essentially being the martyr for those who can't articulate or even express how they feel. So that was a very proud moment for me.
So what should we look for in 2024?
A lot. 2024 is going to be a great year, and the 2023 is going to be great, but look forward to a lot of galleries, a lot of projects, collections, events coming out of RonScottStudios. I'm actually very excited for the things that I'm working on right now. Me and the team, actually, or the team and I, a lot of big things. You know, we need more art. You know, take art out of the word earth, and it's just like it's nothing. It's just bland. So I plan on making the city vibrant, making other cities vibrant, and just helping people express themselves so we can all just, you know, be as vulnerable and transparent as possible without being judged. So a lot of big things. Big things.
Give us your socials, man.
Well, y'all can follow me on Instagram, Ron Scott Studios. You can follow me on Twitter, Ron Scott Studios. It's literally just Ron, Scott, and then Studios, and the Avi's my logo. It's your green leaf. Trying to promote, you know, divinity and health. So yeah, Ron Scott Studios on IG, on Twitter, and yeah, that's where I'm at.
Appreciate you, brother. Take care.
Appreciate you guys too, man. Thank you.